So we're heading for the new hidden village. I believe they said it was off the bridge, so let's go to the old bridge again. A bunch of fish, larger as your hand, as large as your hand even, is swimming right under the water surface. They're gathered around an extensive red stain that flows down the stream. That's ominous, since these, I think, are piranha. It's the spot where I can move east to the tribe of the Green Mountain. You don't see any easy way to move east. If there's any path you could take, it's completely overgrown. The thorny bushes won't allow you to move without harm, and even if you could, you wouldn't leave Shadowmane behind. The withering dust will get me through the bushes. Or I can cut it down with my axe. You know what? Spend the time. I think this withering dust, I'd rather use it in an emergency situation. Okay, it cost me some food and some good luck score. The sun isn't harsh. As long as no beasts are going to bother you, you can expect a fair bit of carefree labour. The thick gloves allow you to move or clean the thorny branches. You push the plants away, then cut right above the ground. The stems are healthy and flexible, but with enough time and determination, you manage to cut through and throw them aside, one by one. After a few hours, you feel hungry, but at least you've reached the game trail. I pack my things, sharpen my axe blade, and prepare for the rest of my journey. Okay, Shadowmane peacefully chews the grass, enjoying the sun on its back, ready to take a nap. No, we're travelling this way, please. It wouldn't be wise to ride through a lush meadow. Did I say wide? It wouldn't be wise to ride through a lush meadow. There are animal pits and molehills, and the ground is covered with old roots, rocks and mounds. Putting more weight on Shadowmane could turn any stumble into a broken leg. You lead it by the reins and keep looking around. Such lands are common hunting grounds for dragonlings or cats that sneak up in the grass. Finally, you reach a narrow game trail. The rest of the journey should be easier. Let's follow it. The trail turns into a wider path and leads you to a rocky hill. Shadowmane quenched its thirst, so you fill up your water skin. Shadowmane, be careful, there's piranhas in this river. The trees by the road still bear signs of past trimming, giving shadow to old herbal patches now overgrown. The vegetables were dug out by rabbits, and the apples on the ground are already rotten. You glance at the cave's entrance and let out a sigh at the sight of bones. You could hardly squeeze inside. Fortunately, the path forward is clear. I'm absolutely not going in this cave, and I'm not cleaning myself in the stream. Let's keep moving. The grand brown and grey mountains are blocking the horizon, and you doubt the path is going to reach the snow-covered peaks. Without trees and clouds blocking your view, you're like an ant approaching a fortress. Let's hope there's some benches for me to take a break from climbing, or I wonder what kind of beasts hide amongst the rocks. I'd be more worried about the beasties. Ah! The unbodied keeper of the garden is still standing still, with a dark cloak on their shoulders and eyeless face covering the woodlands. Their club, more than 3 times as tall as you are, is made of a single piece of rock and could squash you by simply collapsing without anyone's will. A set of stairs leads into a convenient corridor-like ravine. The gentle wind carries no shouts or scent of blood. I can approach the statue or can use my knowledge. I see something amongst the rocks. Can it be? Oh my god. Get out of the food ration bit. A basalt rock. I need the powder on the top of the... I can't believe that we've got it. One of the rocks placed behind the statue does not belong here. A dark basalt the size of your fist. I think I can make the blinding dust now. You look at the mountain peaks and let out a sigh. You could use such a rock to make blinding powder, but smashing it into dust won't be enough. You'll have to perform the ritual the right way. Ideally at the top of the mountain, or at least as high as you can get. For now, you put the rock into a sack. I approach the statue. The statue's face has no features, and the shell ends with the neck, revealing a dark space inside the torso. You lean closer and notice the coarseness of black and grey gritstone, and how bitten by time it is. Both the figure and the sockle What the hell is sockle? I have to Google this. I need to expand my vocabulary for words can kill. A plain low block or plinth serving as a support for a column, urn, statue, or as the foundation of a wall. Can you hear this? Hang on a minute. I want to see if this comes through my audio.
Sokol.
Okay, I didn't see. So it is Sokol.
Sokol.
It does come through.
Sokol.
Okay, so I believe it's the plinth at the bottom. Understood. And the Sokol are stained with white guano. Still, it's extraordinary work. The weight of the giant doesn't rest on its club, but rather on the boots, which are cleverly attached to the cloak. Sooner or later, something will break, most likely the arms. Without them, the statue won't hold its stance. Let's see if it reacts to my actions. Oh. Talk. You introduce yourself and try and have a chat with the statue. It remains silent. What did Mr. Man say to me? The druid guy. What was his name even? Oggy Glossy. Was it Dalit? No. Of course it's not Dalit. Efren, no. Nope, and nope. Alright. The forest guides us and we share its wisdom. He told me something I need to say to them. I was hoping it would tell me here. Oh, old speech. A freedom speaker. Okay. I might have to leave this for now. Old speech? Either you can't do that or I don't understand you. A little jig. How about pray? You try to utter a simple prayer, but as a minute goes by and you shift your weight from one line to the other, you struggle to focus. I'll step away then. Alright, let's keep moving. I don't know what the statue's for. Seeing how steep this part of the road gets, I'm a bit worried about the time, by the way. We still have 7 hours, but let's keep an eye on this. Seeing how steep this part of the road gets, you dismount. It will be safer for you to get a bit tired now than to push Shadowmane onto the verge of fatigue. You take a sip of water and start climbing. The road is winding and narrow, but it would fit a single wagon if it wasn't for sporadic rocks and boulders blocking the path. Some of the large ones are resting just in the middle, and as you look above, you struggle to recognise where they came from. These were placed here on purpose. The strong wind, the wooden bridge connecting the rock ledges, the unusual terrain. You can't pay attention to any of that now. A creature larger than a bear steps away from its nest, then screeches at you through its sharp, black-tipped, golden eagle-like beak. It spreads its wings as wide as a barn gate. You stay in your saddle. I examine the beast. Its movements are deliberate and confident. It makes a tiger-like leap, then stands still like a statue. Is this some sort of griffin? While the brown, white and yellow feathers covering the front half of its shell are still dancing with the wind. The wings hinder your sight, so you spot only glimpses of the cat-like claws and the clay-like fur. Its large chest rises and falls slowly. The noble griffin's yellow eyes speak only of violence. Its curved beak is longer than your forearm, and the talons on its front paws are like sickles. You don't doubt that its cruel promises may not only be fulfilled, but are a certainty. A single human with but a simple blade and a fistful of herbs would never survive clashing with a monstrosity of this size. You don't have more time to mull it over. The beast leaps towards the rock face. After it flaps its wings, the gust of wind brushes your hair. It's time for us to leave. Can I run forwards, please? I can. Okay, that was oddly simple. The winds, cold sweat, and altitude make you want to simultaneously take off your cloak and put on some heavier clothes. At least Shadowmane doesn't seem to care. You take deeper breaths. The path ahead seems gentler. There are no more trees, and you're surrounded by grasses, pebbles, sporadic bushes. You look down at the herds gathering around the stream, the rustling leaves, and the birds, large and small. Is a griffin a bird? Because that'd be a pretty large bird. Flying over the forests of the peninsula. From here, everything seems calm. Too bad most people never catch this view. It's just an illusion. These trees hide blood, blades, and claws. There's nothing peaceful about it. I wish I could see all of this from the peak of the mountain, or at least getting down won't be as difficult. Too bad most people can't catch this view. A loud screech reaches from up the path, where at the top of the crag you see a massive saurian standing on 4 limbs. It's displaying proudly its dark green skin, with a bit brighter stomach and orange stripes on its legs and eyebrows, as well as the tail, which is swinging left and right. The size of the monster makes you stop, but before you turn around, you realise there's a short woman sitting on its back, dressed in a red gambeson and an iron helmet, with green pants that blend in with her mount. Well, we've learned that I'm not green-red colourblind, at least. You can't see the details of her hair, but she's not attacking you just yet, resting the blunt edge of her spear on the ground. Her other hand holds the reins attached to a bridle, but on the monster's head, cramping its wide mouth. She raises her weapon in a greeting, and speaks in a language that at first confuses you, but you manage to figure out it's just a few of the words. She's using Old Speech, the almost forgotten tongue of your ancestors, though in a dialect so distant you doubt you could speak freely with her. You think she's saying something similar to, "Greetings, traveller, are you lost?" I greet her back using the remains of Old Speech I heard as a kid. I seek the village at the end of this path. This time it's her who pauses, then repeats, "The village?" She pronounces it so differently from you that it makes you smile, but you confirm her guess. During the following minutes, you both try to get used to each other's speech. Whenever she uses the city tongue, she does so with sounds she's clearly not used to saying out loud. But as you combine it with gestures and a few words you know from Old Speech, it's enough to move the conversation forward rather smoothly. Finally, she asks if you have a message for the chief or the shaman. Tell me, I'll pass it to them. I need to speak with them myself. I'm the local Roadwarden. Even though she doesn't give any clear commands to her mount, it takes a few steps forward, moving without needing to speed up quickly. After a confident leap, the beast lands on the crag right above you, allowing the warrior to look at you closely. Roadwarden, she says in the city tongue, like a Styrian to city folk. You nod. What do Roadwardens do, really? I'm going to be friendly. I protect travellers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. You hear a monstrous roar coming from the mountains. The woman looks around with a raised spear, and when her eyes return to you again, her voice is strict. You'll find no ting for you here, as we seek no travels, no in touch. She pulls the rein and makes the saurian turn around, then leaps away up the path, staying on top of the crags. Something's happening not far away from here, she shouts from a distance. Let's not risk staying around. We'll speak in the village. Shadowmane, keep up with the beast. Oh, lovely music. You ride through the corridor of rock faces, led by the jumping saurian. I want to see this on the map. Okay, we're pretty far away, honestly. The woman in a helmet blows a large horn, longer and thinner than a ram's, with enough power to cause an avalanche. And once you reach the massive wooden gate blocking the path, it's already open. The few people you've seen so far are well equipped, wearing heavy jackets, shields and steel weapons, though some of them seem a bit old. Your surroundings get more spacious, with small garden patches and stone sheds spread on both sides of the path. Riding by the onlookers, you enter a trot, then a walk. The locals pay as much attention to you as to your mount, commenting on your appearance in the Old Speech. Unlike the guards, the workers are carrying rather simple tools. Many of them are made of bones or rocks. Their woolen, undyed outfits are appropriate for hard labour, worn and patched up, but also heavy, protecting their owners from the cold mountain winds. The one thing that differentiates them from one another is their headgear. Every person you see is wearing something on their head, mostly ear-covered kerchiefs, vividly dyed with embroidered patterns of leaves, flowers and gems. They are sea folk, no doubt about it. They have long limbs, hardly any beards, and the few children you can see have uncovered hair, wavy and dense. Yet their paleness is unusual, as if they spend little time outside. How do these things make you seem like a sea folk? Long limbs, I mean, you know, that's just genetics. Any beards, you can shave or not shave that. A lot of famous pirates, you know, have beard on their name. black-beard, white-beard, and uncovered hair. I mean, you know. Everyone else has covered hair, though. Whatever. Your guide is nowhere in sight, but so far no one has tried to stop you. I don't want to trample anyone. I dismount to look for the Saurian rider. She awaits you at the cave mouth, where the teeth and tongue are so distant, you doubt they were shaped so without the villagers' interference. The crisp air carries the scent of late summer meadows. Aside from the discussions of farmers and guards, you hear the roaming wind and gloating ibexes. But the terraces and crops around you are quiet, making you realise it's the first village you've seen in quite a while, where there's no constant noise of humming water or of heavy labour. You're safe here, but not welcome, you hear from your guide in the old speech. She's not the only guard in sight. The spears, slings and clubs are getting a bit too numerous for your taste. We need not a rock from you, rider. You weren't invited by us, unless you have a gift worthy of our chief and shaman's time. We see your visit as needless. You realise she's more than 40, and even if she has a small stature, no one seems eager to replace her as a negotiator, or to question her authority. The accent of those who chat in the distance is so dense you can't catch a single word. I need to bring your tribe a gift so I can see your leaders. Ah, she lets out a dishonest laugh. Oh, why would we want to see you? Your problems are but a pebble in the stream, and we seek no change in the current. I point at the sky. I'll need to hide, sleep. I'm trying to find a Asterion. Is there something I could do for you instead? I wonder if they want my chisel. I kind of wanted to save that to try to clear the mountain past the rock slide. But fuck that village, honestly. How long would it take me to get back here? Okay, 3 hours is not that long. Would you let me sleep here? I point at the sky. I'll need to hide, sleep. She looks away and speaks with her neighbours. You recognise words such as shelter or stranger, but when she's not doing her best to speak slowly and clearly, as if she's using yet another language, she then gestures for you to follow her to the shed just a few steps behind you, and draws aside the curtain covering the entrance. The room is filled with sacks, old barrels, and bone-made tools. We'll prepare you a sleeping spot, and your beast can stay outside. The village is heavily guarded at night, don't be afraid. Soon after, a few farmers bring a pile of furs, placing them in the corner. Move them to the centre when you're ready. That's honestly incredibly generous of you. I'm trying to look for a few hunters from the village of Creeks. Were they around? She exchanges looks with other armoured villagers to her left and right, but they shake their heads, and she meets your eyes again with a confident nod. We haven't seen anyone from that tribe in many years. I get back to Shadowmane. I won't get any higher. I should powder the basalt rock here. We'll do that in a minute. Is anything interesting in my possession? You pull out some items, but she spares him nothing more than a shrug. What would you want, then? Haven't you heard the tales of old times when the chiefs welcomed each other with the best things they had to offer? There's a playful hint in her voice. Something of great value and what difficult to find. A sharp blade, a cask full of golden liquid, spices from another land. Is there anything I could do for you instead? No, she scoffs. But seeing your expression, continues with a serious look of her own. Our mountains will kill any stranger. We spend years mastering their trails and traps. Whatever comes from the woodlands will bring us nothing of value. Don't you dare suggest we were waiting for the city folk to help with our troubles. I bring news of great importance, matters of life and death. She looks at the faces that surround you. Important to who? The rider from the city. What does it matter to the farmers, builders, smiths, and firefighters of the tribe of the Green Mountain? If we need help, we go to the lowlands on our own legs. Alright. I'm looking for Asterion. She gives you a grim look. So is our shaman. She had some big plans with him, but I shouldn't talk about it with city folk. Can I powder my basalt rock here? You nod to the Southern Rider and step away. You follow the unclear steps of the ritual, preparing the new ingredient without fully understanding how the steps you take make any difference. While some alchemical rituals are essential, you are never sure which ones can be omitted or altered. Will Companion, the air-like shell that carries pneuma, see your efforts as sufficient? You can only hope. You place the piece of basalt on a larger rock, not getting it into anyone's way, then spend over an hour breaking it loudly into smaller chunks and grinding them into dust. At the beginning of the process, a few of the locals, mostly children, observe you, but they get bored quickly, leaving you to your eccentricities. Once you fill up a small sack with the black powder, your hands are tired and a bit scratched. I put it in with the rest of my bundles, then get back to the cave mouth. Magic! Says your guide calmly, using one of the few words that sound almost identical in both languages. And after seeing your nod, she simply points at the bucket, letting you wash your hands. Okay, she still doesn't want any of this. I'm glad she doesn't want my black powder. Okay! I'm a little bit concerned by walking past the griffin nest, but I think I need to get all the way back again. Oh, I can't quite make it to the pelt anymore. That's a pity. Well, I guess I go back to the watchtower then. Sadly, I think I need to go all the way back round. So they want something fine, like a nice blade. So I think I'm going to need to make some more money again. I think that's my new job. We have 4 dragon bones, so we're just going to try and do jobs for people, I suppose. Is there anything else I need? Let me just have a quick look at my my quest right now. Find Roadwarden, gather a crew, we've been doing that. We do have to go back to the closed tunnel again at some point. But I kind of wanted weapons for that. Vice wants help as well. Maybe that's what we do now. Oh, maybe I can destroy the fallen tree with my chisel as well. The chisel of mass destruction. Great value and difficult to find. A sharp blade, a cask full of golden liquid or spices. I need to find the lost merchants, which I have a horrible feeling are in the centre of the map. We haven't found the missing hunters yet, but now I can make my blinding powder, so I might go and deal with that as well. Because we had the Howler monkey place as well. Virus will help me meet Arrentius if I make it worth his time and worth. Okay. I spoke with Helvis about meeting with Arrentius. I should report back to Vice. Okay. Well, it seems like I'm going to have to deal with Howler's Dell again. Vice is being used me to spy. Okay. And then the monks can go fuck themselves as well. Right, let's go back to the abandoned watchtower. Perfect, we got back here safely. I enter the tower and I sleep. I have to eat, so let's eat a food ration. And we can't get any more, you know, aesthetically unpleasing. Muddy roads, brilliant. It's not like I wanted to, you know, travel all of today. Now, let me go back to the fallen tree then. Can I chisel you? No. Fair. See you later. The dolmen I don't think I need to go to either. That I don't need anymore. I guess why not pop in the pelt and just see if anything else has progressed? I'm going past it anyway. You know what, youngster? You're learning your trade, I see. Kind of, he answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for us is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said safe. Let's meet in the middle of boring, but safe. The man nods. Alright, see you later. Actually, what do you have? Gamson repairs. Don't need that right now. No. You all just want money. You have any leftovers? Nice! Free food. Right, none of your stuff is useful for me right now. Julia. She smiles politely. Hello again. Alright, it's been enough time now that I think we can ask about this. Oh, I found this wax tablet. Do you recognise it? She opens it and takes a quick glance. Well, it's from Hovleven. Asterion and my lieutenant were the only people I've seen with green tablets like this one. And the locals don't write chronicles. She gives it back. I can't read. Better look for a priest of the right. Good call. What was your squad's mission? I've been to a camp it's as good as gone. You explain that the broken entrance is worse shape than she remembers, and that the scavengers are going to have a feast for a few more days, if not more. She rubs the top of her head with an entire palm, glancing at 2 hunters who just entered the room. No longer my problem, she says to herself, but then meets your eyes and lets out a sorrowful chuckle. Quite a monster we knocked down, didn't we? I hate to do this. Do you have my reward? After a brief scowl, she looks down and shakes her head, snickering weakly. I knew you would ask me that. Yeah, it's all there. I took everything of value with me. Okay. Oh, I need to find Asterion first. Would you like to join my expedition to High Island? She gives you a long look. I mostly forgot about Asterion, and I've had my share of beasts already. The officials would appreciate your report from the island. Your help may save his life. You're missing out on real adventure. We may find a treasure or ancient ruins. You've got nothing better to do. Your help may save his life. She sighs and starts to rub her temple. I guess. A short pause. I can't do this. Are you really this sick of the roads? I don't plan to give you a palace made of dragon bones, you know. She doesn't trust me enough. Oh. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looked into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they've tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions, I change the topic. So she just doesn't trust me. Alright. And Quintus? He's done. Alright, let's wash my shell in the well. There we go. I have some of my looks back. I will deal with Steep House on the way back, I think. Let me go to the Elder just briefly, since I'm going past anyway. Can you help me wake up the giant from the far... Can you help me wake up the giant from the Far East? Oh. His blue eyes are piercing through your skull and chest. The knowledge you gather helps the causes I find dear to me. That much I saw. Here's what you'll do. Kneel in front of the statue and then repeat these words. He utters a bunch of nonsense, and seeing your confused look, he lets out a sigh. Ever with these words on your tongue, you'd have nay eyes to see through them. Speak with me and learn. He spends a good few minutes teaching you the phrases from the old speech, until you're able to repeat them without mistakes. Though also no comprehension, while your tongue is not used to some of the sounds, their rhythm makes you think of a poem, and helps you a lot. You need nothing more? No, absolutely not. You've been wonderful again. So I can do that again. Oh my god, I've almost got through a day again. Muddy roads, man. They're a killer. Alright, we gossip for a bit. I enter the village. I can't help anyone here. Brilliant. Out of curiosity, have you still got that axe? Oh, I'm looking for flowers that look like orange tulips with much larger leaves. Do you grow anything like that? I'll ask at Beyond's. Her wife had some of those. After a few minutes, he brings you a clay pot with a plant not larger than your hand. It has a single flower and a couple of healthy leaves. Back in spring, Asterion asked us to grow them, but he's no longer around. That little stinker. Ever their presence annoys me now. 3 dragons and I'll give you what's above the ground. Maybe it'll grow again. You ask him what he knows about it. He picks it up to look at it closely, as if it's the first time seeing it. Well, the forest speaker from the southern cave told me 'tis a herb for potions. Snakebait, he said. I think it lures serpents. I'm not sure. But 'tis pleasant in taste, I think. I'll take it. I need them. Alright, what else do you have to sell? 14 is what I need. Alright, see you later. What can you tell me about the... I bring news about other parts of the peninsula. Right. The soldiers who came here in spring were meant to find a good spot for a new outpost. She smiles widely. You don't say. Knowing that, I'll prepare a few very tempting suggestions for the officials. As she seals her lips, she still lets out a quiet chuckle. Fuck you. I'm not telling you anything else. It says I have to go to speak to Face about... Oops, I've clicked something I didn't mean. Well, I think I asked about the tribe of the Green Mountain. She opens her mouth but needs a few breaths to respond. I compliment you for finding out about their existence at all. She rubs the back of her neck. I can't tell you much about them, to be honest. I wouldn't be allowed to, even if I wanted to. Ma! Hearing the call of a little girl, Feist flinches. It turns out the child is demanding a change of shirt. She points at a large stain on her stomach. What happened to her? The mare asks as she turns away from you to help the girl change, but doesn't wait for her response. I haven't spoken with the tribe in 10 years or so. As a child, I was told that one should never seek their home. She takes a look at her daughter. The new shirt is as worn and dull as the old one. It's an old garment for adults. On her small frame, it looks like a baggy tunic. Very nice. Go play. She concludes absently and looks back at you, sighing with annoyance. My sister used to brag that she saw them once in the woods, during their hunt. That they were wearing the faces of animals, looking like the beast folk. She tried to make a mask of her own, but the druids told her to stop fooling around. Kids are liars, my father said. She lets out quite a titter. Could I ask you a couple of questions? I'm afraid she's with the forest now. A bolt of lightning hit her right in the head. I'm sorry to hear that. That's unbelievably unlucky. Eric shows up with a plate of red radishes, salted, roasted, and cut into slices. He invites you both to help yourselves, but before he leaves, Vice grabs his hand and looks into his eyes. They smile at each other without a word. After a few heartbeats, she turns back towards you. I don't really know your plans, Andalorno. Are you planning to stay in the north? Maybe find a family? I already have a family near me back home. I'm not looking for a new place. I want to travel. Oh, I might look for a new home here. Maybe, asked man politely. I look at her sternly. You don't need to know. Or I'll start a new life in Hovelvin. Honestly, I just want to travel. Let's say that. Let's not tell that I'm trying to seek my fortune. Living life to its fullest, aye? The innkeeper smiles and his wife chuckles. That's not for me. I never understood this wandering souls, unless they hope to find a goal. I thought it said gal for a second. Eric pats her shoulders. She always knows what to pursue. Her heart's too strong to doubt. You are my heart, she holds in her laughter as she kisses his hand, and the man gives her a radiant smile, then walks back to the inn. I bring news of other parts of the peninsula. Okay. Addicted to snake bait. Oh, addicted to it. Interesting. I wouldn't have ever gleaned the information addicted. I'm not letting you to see it down here. I've been to the tribe of the Green Mountain. You explain how you reached it and what you saw. She rubs her hands cheerfully. Judging by your tale, they aren't bothered by their humble lives, and even less so by what we tried to build here. Splendid. I don't need more chaos in our land. She leans forward with a smile, resting her chin on her wrist. Only the oldest of all forest speakers have ever been to that place. It's remarkable you've managed to find it. That's all I have to say. See you later. Oh. Here's a silly question, Andalorno. What future do you see for the peninsula? Imagine being the chieftain of the north. What would be your order? Under my command, the settlements would join the 10 cities. Standing aloof puts the locals in danger. I'd focus on creating a trade route with the guild without joining the cities. Working with the 10 cities will take away your freedom. If it were my call alone, I'd send the news to cut the negotiations. The settlements should work together, share their goals to make this place safer. Maybe start a new village, or... I'd never dare to make such a call. Every community has the right to govern themselves. Yeah, I think I'd focus on creating a trade route with the guild without joining the cities. A compromise then. She gives you a habitual smile. But the city's attempts would never ever end. Not while we have anything they want. And yes, I'm ready to play their game, but are the other settlements? Will the next mayor of Howlers be able to handle this? If I sign a deal that pushes our children into chains 20 years from now, would I be responsible? She looks at a nearby group that's practicing local songs. Thank you for your time. Eric's. It's my last dragon. My last dragon bone. I think we just sleep for the night. I can't afford to rent the room anymore. Okay, the fogs are here again. Milky fogs, it'll pass. Don't worry about it. What day are we on now? 34. Oh my god, I've been a month here. Right. I kind of want to get to Foggies to use our alchemy table. But I don't really have anything else to do up there. Actually, that's not quite true. Maybe my fish are still here? We really need to make some money as well. I might offer my service to the guards. A hunting trip. It may get dangerous. I'll live with it. I need to eat. Okay, just took looks off me. That's fine. You can take my looks. Creepers block the path. Right, let's go. There's no plants here. I'm going to guess my traps are empty because I've honestly been a mile away at all times. Oh, I caught 2 fish. Nice. Set the trap again. Perfect. Okay, Foggy, hello. I approach the tavern. Alchemy. Blinding powder. 3 dragon bones. Okay. Make it. You place a stool in a convenient spot, letting your arms rest on the table. Paying close attention, you fill a copper cauldron with an even layer of powder, then warm it up slightly, keeping track of the time with an hourglass. You move the flame to a different spot after every minute, then mark these positions in your wax tablet to avoid any mistakes. For half an hour you heat up the tiny speck of dust, then open the jar with soil and add it to the pot, mixing with a ladle. You keep doing so until you notice the effects of the pneuma. The entire mixture suddenly gets clay brown, shrinks in half, and after you touch it, it's ice cold. It's an endothermic reaction, I see. You fill up a pouch and shake it around. You won't underestimate your new weapon. I clean up everything, step away. And I can also make a sharpening poison. Oh, I don't have enough dragon bones. But I do have the ingredients. I'd have to use a snake bait flour, though. Oh, and you can just make... Oh, no, wait. No, you can just make this anytime you want. Ah. Okay. What time is it? 4 hours, 15 minutes. Do you need anything? No. So I'm not allowed to stay at the creeks. And I don't think I have anything to do there. Let's head back to Howler's Dell, I guess. Yeah, I think we head back to Howler's Dell. Because I need money. Or the alternative is I go for the fisherman. In fact, do you want to fish, by the way? Sorry. Oh, you don't want fish, do you? Because you're living on a river. Ah, screw it. Pay the one, I need food, I'd like to eat. And we come through this area pretty often. It's so expensive to live here, though. Maybe I should have got the cost of living here or sleeping here reduced. I don't know. Anyway. Time for me to go. I go outside. 3.5 hours. Let's go up to Gale Rocks. I'll sleep here. Gossip boatmaker Photius. Too late to join their work. Rafina. Tatius. Tatty sells. Who has the fucking grapple hook, by the way? I can't remember who I could buy a grapple hook off. I remember seeing it one time. And then just never again. Bathman, do you have it? No. Okay, we're sleeping here. I'm gonna have to rent for labor. Costs you 3 food. What? You wake up somewhere in darkness. Yeah, we load the wagons. Sure. The fishers have already left, which is annoying. You have to, like, rent the room to work with the fishermen. Actually, maybe I don't. Maybe I can just go to the pier now and help them. Approach the pier, head to the fishers. Need help with your fishing today. 2 or 3? Okay, you get an extra dragon bone if it gets dangerous. Sure, let's do it. I need food anyway. And money. We got 3. It got dangerous. A flock of harpies tried to strike one of the spearfishers that was hunting from a rock, but your group managed to fight it off. Even you, the frontline fighter, got away safe with your armor protecting you from the threats. But you got covered with mud and salt in the process. In the middle of the day, you receive a fresh roasted fish with a bowl of cold veggie stew and an extra dragon bone for your efforts. Thank you very much. I washed myself in the ocean. We look a bit better again. How long left? Oh my god, it takes so long to get anywhere. We need to get back to Foggy's now. Or I'm going to get trapped here indefinitely. Okay. I should be able to make the sharpening poison now. I can. It's literally all my money. You can't dry up the mushrooms. But you cut it into cubes and fry it above a gentle flame while keeping the orange petals in the hot air. You pick the mortar and pestle and prepare various dried herbs, tearing with your fingers. You're almost sure that at least the sage is not essential for the recipe, but adding to the powder's final volume will reduce the substance's intensity and will make the dosing easier. The pleasant smell of a dinner is followed by long minutes of chopping, smashing and grinding. Finally, the pneuma fills your creation. The entire mixture soaks up with the intense colour of the snakebait. You fill up a small wooden box. I clean up everything. Okay, I just want to know, do I still have any of this at all? Or do I use all of it? I think I used it all. So I don't have anything now to give to Eudocia. I don't like, wronging her, but I feel like this was a sensible thing to do. We need that as much as she does. And it's nighttime, so we have to sleep here. Again, we'll sleep on the floor. Cost me a heart, but oh well. Of course it rains again. Right, the days are getting shorter. No shit, they're getting shorter. They're always getting shorter, I feel like. Right. Right. Do I think I can deal with the monkeys now? I'm here. I have my blinding powder. I don't have a weapon. I wouldn't mind getting the crossbow. Who sells the fucking crossbow? Wait, she doesn't have the grappling hook. She has the chicken and the... She has the chicken and the traps. I kind of wish I could see what everyone had. Maybe you can. Druids. I can only assume it's the White Marshes that had it. But did I even speak to a merchant here? Because I don't remember. Let me just look at the map again for a second. Because this is the axe, right? He has the axe and fine clothes, I think. Pagos won't trade with me, nor will the monastery, right? We need to be more trustworthy. Gale Rocks is a shield and some quarrels. This is fish trap and chicken. Was it the pelt? Maybe the pelt sold it, but I thought this was just rations. And then he doesn't sell me anything. And she'll sell me magic stones. It has to be white mages then. Apologies again, like if you're shouting at the screen right now. But if you're watching these back to back, obviously it's going to be fresher in your mind than me, who's been, having many sleeps during this. Honestly, I'm almost living like the game. Not quite, I'm probably going through more than a day per my day, but not that far off. Do I risk it for a biscuit? I think I risk it for biscuits. Oh my god, I got even more fish. I got an achievement for the fisherman as well. Well, that's going to be pretty good for me in the future. I can trade that for money or food rations. I'm going to enter the lair of the Howlers. You're more used to Shadowwing's trot than your own gait. You rush forward as if you're tracking the next meal or delivering a message. After a few minutes, the light dancing on the calm surface of the lake lures your eyes, and the whispering meadow calms down your breath. I need no calming down. The less time I spend on the road, the better. You warm up your shoulders and focus on any movement that could belong to a lurking beast. You reach the trail of blood again, then the gully. The shadows cast by the trees make you aware, but not worried. You make sure your belt and cord are properly attached. The axe's handle is solid, the head is firmly attached. Having no horse, you find a way to squeeze through the thicket. I walk down into the valley. Not much light gets through the tree crowns. The cauldron-shaped basin is filled with howls of monkeys and chirping of insects. As soon as you enter the lair, hundreds of throats burst up with threats and worries. Some of the monkeys run away, others gather in groups, following your movements like a loyal squad, sorry. Their gurgling is distracting, but as you look through the darkness, there are countless more black and golden furs, letting out the ghastly cries. This distant army is hardly aware of your arrival. Most of them eat, sleep, or groom their companions. You follow the trail of blood, but it only leads further downhill. Your head starts to spin from the overwhelming noise. I better not linger, follow the trail, put my trust in the earplugs. The sound gets gentler on your ears, but no matter how much you try, your thoughts keep returning to the vibrations in your head and stomach, and the blunt pain that grows slowly. Your plugged ears may keep you safe, but not for long. The first large monkey touches the ground, but after you raise your axe and show your teeth, it climbs back up again. Though, you right away notice a similar movement on the other side. Nothing attacks you just yet. It's obvious that you, or any human, could never single-handedly put an end to such a grand pack of creatures. But if you broke through their strike, maybe the rest would be too afraid to push on. Especially if they remember what happened to them last time. I'd better rub the sharpening poison on my gums. The taste of ash grows intense, while the world slows down. You blink a few times, getting used to the sharp lights and colours. Each gesture of yours is precise and conscious. Your heavy breathing is full of excitement. Let's get down to business. The monkeys observe you with respect, pouting their lips and growling, but keeping their distance for quite a few breaths. Soon the first monster falls from the high branch, breaking through the foliage of shrubs, then leaps at you with a shout. You reach for anything that could be of assistance to you. Time for blinding powder. You throw it in front of you and jump away from the monkeys. You don't look at them for a few heartbeats, but their painful screams assure you the dust is working. They cover their faces with their large hands, landing on their buns. Landing on their buns? You mean bums? But you know what buns will do? Landing on their sweet buns, or moving away in panic. The remaining few are still standing still even, but not sure exactly what happened. After you get deep into the forest, you try to repeat this attack, but this time the creatures are aware of the threat. Doing their best to duck, you hide the remaining dust before it goes to waste. The forest gets darker, but the trail of blood is still easy to follow, which may not be a good sign. Sharpening poison will help me avoid attacks. Your feet are like feathers, and the blurry shapes of the monsters can't keep up with you. For a moment you forget where you are, until you slip away from the grasp of one of the monkeys. You try to collect your senses. The trail of blood gets weaker, and you estimate that the middle of the valley is already behind you. Right, I'm out of options now. I don't have the crossbow. We're going to use my axe. You push forward, struggling to find a path between the remaining groups of monkeys. You duck, leap, sprint, and at one point you manage to reach the final group. You swing your blade left and right, hoping to squeeze through the wall of black and golden furs. A strong arm clasps around your waist. You hit the ground, trampled by feet. The blunt pain in your leg is followed by something tearing it off. Andalono's soul has left its shell. Well, that's how my story ends, I guess. God, I did not expect that. We had half a Gambison as well, like half the armor. 3 Vic points. I thought at worst we were going to take, like, 2 hits to the armor. But if you don't have all 3, you just insta-die. Well, I guess it gives me the option of replaying the encounter. So I could go back through this. And I think after you say no calming down, trust the earplugs. So there's no way the hunter survived such a blood loss of the Valley of Monsters. I get back to Foggy's no need to put myself in danger. You run your eyes over a few groups of beasts and rush towards the gully. The monkeys triumphantly howl, giving you a headache, and chase after you until you reach the meadow. You have no doubt that they won't flee from you ever again. You can only hope that Efren will accept your explanation. I can't risk my life for a minor task. Does this lock me out from doing this ever again? It does. Okay, well, I think this is where I'm going to end the series, honestly. If you want to check out this game more for yourself, then feel free to do it, but this is where my story ended. I died to the Howler Monkeys because I didn't have a crossbow. It's a real pity. I was really enjoying this game. Maybe off camera I'll do a bit more. Or if someone is like, super desperate, it's like, oh, I really want to see it. I do have a save file from before here, and I can just go through all the scenarios again to get back to where I was again. Let me know in the comments below, though, what you would like me to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for following the adventures of Andalone the Roadwarden. I'm sorry it had to end this way. I didn't expect it either. I was kind of shocked, honestly. Honestly, I was more surprised I didn't die, though, around here, the water thing. That was really stupid, so I have been warned once, effectively, that the creatures here are dangerous, and I guess I didn't heed their warning. I just didn't have, enough equipment with me. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you maybe in a different series. Goodbye.